hi there, Mary. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you, Susie. How have you been?
Very well, thank you. It's all thanks to your help.
I'm glad. Here, I bought you this.
Oh, wow, what is it?
It's those cookies I made for you both last time that Eddie really enjoyed. The chocolate chip ones.
Is this why you wanted to meet up today? So that you could give me this to pass on to him?
No. I'm on my way to see a professor colleague of mine. She's having a retirement party. I woke up so early this morning and couldn't get back to sleep, so I decided to do some baking instead of just lying there being bored. They tasted pretty good last time. Has Eddie gone to the gym or something? Where is he?
Yes, Mondays are his free days, so he's gone to play golf.
Okay, well, when he gets back, you should both have some of these cookies. They came out pretty good, I have to say.
Thank you, Mary. I'm sure they'll be delicious.
Say, is it true that there was a problem with the student loan payments? I heard hundreds of people got their payments all at once.
Oh, no, sadly not. I think it was just a rumor that one of the bosses started spreading.
Wow. Whatever family takes you in must have some very good luck. You're always so cheerful and confident no matter the situation. You have so much respect for your elders, too, and you're smart with your money. I know you work very hard, too, so it's no wonder you're doing well at work.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you, Mary. That was very sweet.
How is your father doing lately?
Well, he's about the same.
That's better than getting worse. Here, take this.
Wow, now what are you giving me?
It's just a bit of pocket money. I'm so proud to have such a beautiful and intelligent daughter-in-law. This is just to help you out.
Mary, you really don't have to do that.
Just take it. I think you should have earned far more than you did at your last exhibit.
That's really very kind of you, but I promise you that I don't need this. I'm fine, really.
Come on now, Susie. When an older person gives you some money, you're supposed to just say thank you and take it. That's good manners. Before I know it, I'll be turning 80 years old and I can't take my money with me when I die. Besides, I'm a parent, and I want to take care of you kids. Every time I watch TV, all I see are stories of parents with difficult kids. I feel lucky to have you and Eddie, so just take the money.
Well, if you're sure, then I guess I should just say thank you.
Good. See, that wasn't so difficult. Use it to buy yourself something nice, okay? I need to head off now.
Okay, see you soon. Get home safe. Just listen to me, okay? I told you, don't worry about it. Just forget about it. Do you understand? Come on, you're as white as a sheet. Go and try and get some color back onto your face. I feel so dizzy. I'll handle this, don't worry. Here, take this. It will help. Oh, I can't accept this. Why would you say that? What's wrong? I know that was a gift from your mother-in-law, boss, and she gave it to you. You can't give it to me now. She gave it to me, so now I can do whatever I want with it. Come on, just take it. But, boss... I earn much more than you. Stop feeling guilty for taking it. Make sure to buy some vitamins or an energy drink on your way home. You need to get your strength up. I already have plans for a steak night anyway. I picked up some ribeye at the store. Besides, you live alone and I want to make sure you're okay. You have that time off scheduled tomorrow, so make sure you rest up and don't push yourself. Oh, and the day after tomorrow we'll be having those repairs at the store. Let me think.
What happened to Maggie? Where did she go?
Oh, she really wasn't feeling well, so I told her she should head home earlier and get some rest. She was very pale and dizzy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you the boss here?
I'm sorry?
Why should you get to decide what my employees do?
I just thought her symptoms were pretty similar to COVID. I didn't want to risk anything. Besides, if it was something contagious and she passed it around to the other staff members, we could have a real problem.
I asked you why you think you get to make that call, though.
Well, I just thought about the last time I had COVID and I didn't take care of the situation quickly enough. I heard that you warned the other girl about it more than once, too. I made the call without talking to you, but I shouldn't have done. I'm sorry.
Well, it's fine, but next time you need to speak to me before making these kinds of decisions. I always say as long as you've asked me first, then go ahead and do whatever you need.
I'm sorry, boss. I did try to call you earlier, but I guess you were busy. I can cover the store. It's always quiet on Mondays, so I'm sure we can manage with just me.
What's that in your hand?
Oh, I bumped into your mom on my way into work and she gave this to me.
You saw my mom?
Yes, she was on her way to a colleague's retirement party and I saw her in the street.
Oh, I remember now. She said the university president was retiring. She should really have taken me with her. I'm surprised she didn't invite me.
I mean, that seems a bit presumptuous. You have a very big ego if you think the university president would want you at her retirement party.
Hey, honey, you have to come with me to buy a birthday present for my mom today. Let's head to the mall and see what we can find.
Why are you bringing this up so suddenly? Is it really that urgent?
God, look at this guy. It's your mother-in-law's birthday. You should be making more of an effort than this. Oh, and another thing I meant to tell you, Susie. I think you can close up early today. We don't have any customers, so there's no point you just standing around when the shop is empty.
I was actually planning on steam cleaning the shop today, from top to bottom. I expect it will take me some time, so we might end up closing half an hour or so later than usual.
What? You're going to clean this whole store on your own? Why didn't you ask me before you planned that?
Are you asking me why I didn't ask permission to clean? I mean, I've never had to run it by you before now.
You should always ask. I've told you this so many times. You have to clear things with me before you do anything. If something needs to be decided or you're curious about something, just ask me first and then you can be certain. It's the store policy, you know that.
Yes, I understand.
What the hell? $370? Seriously? Was it all just for one customer?
I didn't sell it. I just convinced the customer they wanted to buy it.
Don't just sell to customers, make them want to buy. That is a very fitting phrase for you, Susie. You're great at your job. Good work today. Respect to you.
Don't just tell me you respect me. You should buy me something delicious for lunch to prove it. Lily had mentioned she would pay for lunch today, so maybe this could be her ticket to a free lunch too.
I'll pay for lunch. We aren't even a luxury brand. I can't believe you managed to get a single customer to spend $370 in one go. Let's hear it for Susie. You're one of our star employees, honestly. The absolute backbone of the store.
Hey, Susie.
Yes, Lily? I mean, boss?
Do you have any other clothes besides the ones you're wearing now?
Honey, how can you say that? It's a bit rude to be asking questions like that, don't you think?
I'm sorry?
You work in a clothing store. Don't you think you should dress like it? You should really pay more attention to your appearance and what you're wearing, you know. I feel like you must have had an empty wardrobe at home. You seem to only have 2 pairs of pants that you alternate every week. It's boring. Why do you just wear the same thing all the time? You should be making a better impression on our customers.
Are my clothes really that big of an issue, boss? I didn't realize you weren't happy with what I wear to work.
Well, you just look like some homeless woman who walked in off the street, don't you think?
Babe, that's too far.
Well, I always do my best to wear something neat and clean that suits me and my style. I don't get my things dry cleaned, but I do wash things regularly. I didn't realize there was an issue with what I wear. I thought everything was okay and professional enough.
Oh, for God's sake. You must be so tight with your money to not be buying some more clothes. You get your salary and a commission every month. What the hell are you spending all your money on?
You know exactly what I spend my money on, Lily. I know who you are under all your fancy clothes. You're a terrible person who wears designer brands to make people think she's some successful, hardworking woman.
You're not just the face of the store, you're the team leader. This just isn't good enough.
Well, I thought that some nice trousers and a smart shirt would be clean and professional. It's the easiest thing to wear when you're dealing with customers. You do know that, right? It makes sure the staff look tidy but don't stand out so we don't distract customers' attention away from the clothes and displays.
Oh my God. The little brat, I can't even speak. How could she be so rude? Seriously. I wish I could just fire her so I wouldn't have to deal with her anymore. Why is it so hard to find good salespeople these days? It's impossible to get the staff.
How could you be so rude to Susie earlier? You were completely out of line.
What did I do wrong?
You know exactly what you did. Why were you getting on her back the whole time? You do realize it'll be your fault if she finds another job. I'm sure she would stay here if you weren't so horrible to her all the time.
There are plenty of other people out there who are exactly like Susie. Why do you think she's so special?
People who are buying clothes all the time have the money to do so. The norm is just buying the necessities, like a new coat in the winter. Half the customers we have just come in to talk to Susie since she's so approachable and helpful. In the end, she manages to persuade them to open up their wallet and buy something at the store. She's a team leader for a reason, remember?
What is up with this guy? He's never usually this chatty. This is more than I've heard him talk in months. Don't make me laugh. You're only acting like this because we've been together for so long.
Do you realize loads of clothing stores are closing down these days? Go out and look at a store like ours. Between the rent for the shop, paying the employees, and paying our own salaries, our labor costs are more than we're earning. I dare you to find a clothes store doing better than us, too.
Do you think Susie is going to be the one to save our store? Is that why you care so much?
I can't say that I don't think she could.
Huh! If we were to start hiring tomorrow, there would be a queue of people just like her out the door.
Well then, go ahead. Start hiring. See if there really is anyone else like her out there. Do some interviews. See what you can find. How many of our staff members do you think can sell to customers without getting exchanges or refunds back?
That's because she's been working here for so long.
Oh, come on, you know it isn't just because she worked with us for a while. She's always been great at sales. Do you think it's common for a person to be able to sell hundreds of dollars worth of stuff to a single customer? Of course not. Susie is the only employee we have bringing in those kinds of numbers. I don't understand why you're being like this. She's our star employee. Why do you seem to dislike her so much?
Ugh, again? You're always going on about what an amazing employee she is. I'm sick of it. I hate how she keeps answering back to me and she always thinks that she knows best about everything. She never gets to the point. I always feel like she's hiding something. Like earlier, she kept talking back like she knew better than me.
Well, you were in the wrong there, babe. You told her she looked homeless. I was so embarrassed that you would even say something so rude.
God, enough! I am sick of hearing you go on about this. Have you not had enough to eat today? Is that why you're so grumpy? Why are you being so chatty? I don't see why I should be embarrassed. Why don't you and Susie go and save the store together then?
What are you talking about? Just leave it.
She's already rich enough with her salary and commission. She must have saved up about $20,000 at this point. Why are you acting like you feel sorry for her? She gives all her money to her parents, too. I hate that she saved up so much money even though she pays her own bills. She doesn't deserve all that.
It seems to me like you resent Susie for being young and free, saving up money and living her own life. When did you get so old and angry? Besides, you inherited about $200,000 not long ago, so you're hardly struggling financially. Why are you so upset that a hard-working young woman has managed to save up some money? She gets a good commission because she sells a lot and works really hard. It's not unfair.
You know, when she first started working for us, we paid her in advance. You remember when her father got rushed into hospital? We paid her early so she could cover his medical expenses. She never gave up, just kept working away with no signs of slowing down. I hate that she has that kind of energy and determination.
Wow, is that really what was going on inside of your head? Can't you move past it and just think about something else? That was such a long time ago.
What did you just say to me?
Are you even the same person I thought you were? Didn't you go to an Ivy League college? Seems like a bit of a waste since you don't seem to have learned anything.
This guy, seriously.
She's lived with her parents for the last 32 years of her life, and now she's the main breadwinner of her family. Susie never once slowed down or disappointed us when her father suddenly got taken into hospital. She just kept working away and bending over backwards to do whatever we needed her to do. She's a model employee. Surely you would love having an employee like that. Why are you so determined to hate her?
Why do you keep sticking up for her so much? Why is she so important to you?
There's no need to be like that, babe. I just think that in 10 years, our daughter will be the same age as Susie now. Our nephew is already as old as she is, too.
Why do you keep bringing up stuff like that? How is that relevant? God, you're really annoying me now. I'm seeing red.
Just calm down, honey. Even though she's good at her job, her boss is trying to push her out of the business and refuses to give her a chance. Imagine how heartbroken her parents would be if they knew that she was being treated this way just so that she could earn money to support them. When our daughter goes to work, you wouldn't want her to have a boss like this either, would you? Think about how she would feel being ignored and undervalued. Even if her boss was doing exactly the same things and treating her exactly the same way that you treat Susie.
Oh, I've had enough of this. God, this guy has an answer to everything today, doesn't he? Why does he only have this much to say when we're talking about Susie? No way. Surely not.
The economy is tanking, and the apparel industry is struggling to stay afloat. Please, I beg you, don't fire the one member of staff that we have that actually manages to bring in a profit.
I hate hearing you going on and on about how good she is. We should turn this into a drinking game. I'll drink every time you try to convince me that she's irreplaceable.
You're always so upset. I can't understand why you hate her so much.
Look, he's doing it again. He's acting like he's the owner of the company and I'm just another employee. Look at him trying to teach me a lesson. I'm worried about the future of the company. Susie seems too straightforward. I don't trust her. She must be hiding something. I know it.
What are you talking about?
I think she's banking on the fact that she'll be able to get her hands on the inheritance when your parents die. She's taking a bet on it since she's just a normal person who will never be rich.
I mean, it's really none of your business. This doesn't seem like a very likely thing to happen either.
Our little girl can never end up in that situation. Oh, God, this is all such a mess.
Babe?
Oh, what's going on?
Wake up. We have to go. I got back late. I'm sorry. Get yourself out of bed and go have a shower. I've already washed up, so the bathroom is all yours.
Yeah, sure thing. Man, I guess I must have dozed off. Oh, I almost forgot. This is for you. Take it.
What is this?
The last exhibition we ran was really successful. This is some of the money that we made. The painting sold really well. We almost cleared out.
Okay, what's that got to do with me?
I want to split the money with you.
Do you think I'm only with you for the money? Do you think I just picked you out because you're a successful artist?
What are you talking about? Where is this coming from?
You know I'm the breadwinner for my family, right? Is that why you're giving me this money? I hate this kind of thing. Honestly, you gave me $2,000 after your last exhibition too, when you sold that painting. I know how happy you were to get such a good price for it. I thought that was why you gave me the money. It was like you were sharing your happiness with me and celebrating your success. Looking at you handing me an envelope now, I guess there was more to it than that. Please take this money back and put it aside somewhere.
Well then, what's a young woman like you doing with a man like me? We have a 17-year age gap.
What's going on? Are you a married man, Eddie? No, you're not yet. We're together as partners, a man and a woman. Why are you being like this?
Seems like you really have no idea. I am an older man dating a younger woman. This is the best way for me to express my feelings. Don't you get it? Me giving you this money is a way of showing you that I care. I'm giving you my heart.
Your heart?
Of course. Go and ask your male friends. They would know exactly what I mean. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it gives us confidence to be able to handle things like this. I know things have been tough for you recently with your father's health issues and medical expenses. I've seen enough men dating young women and not being able to help them at all because they aren't successful themselves. I wouldn't feel like a man if I didn't do this.
Eddie.
This is the best way for me to show you how much I care about you. Do you know how sorry I am that you ended up with an old man like me?
Oh, babe.
Oh, come here, honey.
I just want us to be able to live together, just the two of us. Don't you think we could do that at least?
Look here, sweetie, I'm 49 years old now. I'm not a young man. If we moved in together, another nice young man might pop up. I want you to be able to go with him if you wanted. You have to be with the man that you truly love, and that might be someone closer to your age. If that happens, I would be more than happy to pay for your wedding. I'll buy your dress, the flowers, gifts for your new in-laws, everything. I don't want you to worry about any of it.
Wow, he really cares about me. It would take a truly unselfish man to genuinely just want someone to be happy like that.
Anyway, what I'm saying is that I don't want you to feel stuck. If another man comes around and you want to be with him, just end things with me and live your life.
You know that doesn't make any sense right now, right? It's completely unimaginable.
There are plenty of women out there who have dated one person and then gotten married to another. Very few people end up marrying their first love. What's so unbelievable about it?
Eddie, I don't know what to say.
I am an old man. You could do so much better than me. I could die 20 years before you, or even more since men live shorter lives than women. What would you do, being left by yourself for so long after I'm gone?
Eddie, that's my problem to worry about, not yours. Why are you even thinking about this? Why would you ever think about something so sad? Besides, for all we know, you could live to be the oldest man in history and I could die before you. We could spend a long and happy life together.
Okay, honey.
What I'm saying is that I don't care how many years we have left. I could search for 10 or 20 years and never find a man who is good as you and who I loved as much as I love you. You want to know how I would feel if you passed away before me? I would feel so lucky to have spent a happy life with you. That's all that I want. Besides, there are methods we could use to ensure we both pass away at the same time eventually.
What kind of nonsense is that? You can't be serious. That is so extreme.
I don't mean now, obviously, but maybe one day.
Don't you think you should get married and have kids like everyone else your age? You're only 32. You have your whole life ahead of you.
I would only ever want to have children with you, though.
What are you talking about now? I'm an old man.
Do you really want to become an old man and pass away with no children to carry on your legacy? I could give you children.
You've lost your mind now, seriously. I have to get into the shower.
Babe.
You need to pull yourself together and get back to reality. Go and grab a glass of cold water from the fridge to bring you back to earth. Don't waste your life on an old man like me.
We've been together for so long now. How could you say that? You are my life.
Susie, come on.
I love you, Eddie. All I want is to be married to you and to wake up and be able to see you lying next to me every morning.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Do you not want to get married because you think I'm naive? Do you wish I had more of a career than just working in a clothes shop? Am I not enough for you? I guess you think dating is okay, though, and you said it would be nice to wake up together. Are you embarrassed to be married to me? Is that what it is?
No, of course not. It's nothing like that. How could you think that I would ever be that kind of person? That would be a horrible thing to say.
Well, then what's the problem?
I already told you why I have my reservations.
And I told you that none of that mattered to me. All I want is to spend the rest of my life with you, Eddie. I want us to have children running around at our feet.
My goodness, look at all this food. How many things have you made? We can never finish all of this.
It's only a few small plates. It really isn't that much.
Are you out of your mind? The table looks like it's about to collapse.
It's in memory of your husband. I thought we have to do our best and celebrate properly.
How many times have I told you that you need to cut down on all this excessive spending? Food isn't free, you know. You should have just kept things simple and minimal instead of making all this fuss.
I just wanted to show how much I cared, that's all.
I'm sorry. All this work has fallen on your shoulders. It's so embarrassing. Honestly, it keeps me up at night. You married my second son, but he should be the one to be organizing get-togethers like this with his own family.
Don't worry, I love organizing things like this.
Listen to me. After 20 years, you're going to get tired of being the one who has to plan and arrange every family event. That's why I'm telling you to keep it simple. You're going to burn yourself out. I would feel uncomfortable if you were going to all this effort for your own family, let alone your husband's. This could be a Thanksgiving spread. There's so many different things. I remember you made so much food for my last birthday too, and we couldn't even finish everything. We had to send everyone home with a doggy bag of leftovers.
It's a lovely tradition for the oldest daughter-in-law to show her love for her new family like this. It's been passed down for generations in my family. I want to do my best and show you all that I appreciate you letting me become another one of your family members. When I do something like this, I feel so connected to the woman who came before me and cooked for their families too.
Was that too much? No, I really have to convince her I believe all this garbage if I want to get the inheritance. It would help to back up my argument for me getting everything if she thinks I care this much. Listen to me, Lily. You know that I love to see people keeping traditions alive and respecting their work their elders did before them. This is too much, though. Remember, you were someone else's daughter before you joined our family. Your parents deserve the same level of care and love. I would normally ask my own daughter to do this and cook for her own family like you should. It's just a shame that I don't have a daughter of my own to help me. It makes me feel awful seeing you work so hard for my family, and I wish you wouldn't feel like you have to do all of this. No, you can't do all of this. From now on, I'm getting rid of these huge family get-togethers. People can bring a dish for a potluck if they really want to. If your father-in-law were still alive, I know he would agree. We don't need to do this annual memorials. It's too much work for you. Mary, I already told you I like to do this for everyone. I enjoy cooking for you all. I've committed now. I can't quit while I'm still right in the middle of my plan. No, I'm sure I can stop now. This can't be what it takes, right?
Hey, Eddie. So that's just how things worked out.
Well then, are you going to get married?
I am, Mom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What are you doing? Why are you suddenly so excited?
I'm looking for my skirt, that long red one.
How come?
I want to put it on and go dance in the streets like I'm young again. I thought we were going to die an old bachelor. I never thought this day would come.
Mom, you shouldn't be this excited on the anniversary of Dad's death. Come on, rein it in. Anyway, does this mean you like Susie?
Why does it matter if I like her? What's that got to do with anything?
I mean, like her background and her education and stuff. What about her job? Is that okay? You don't mind that she works in a clothes shop?
Of course I don't mind. You know I always worried you would never find anyone you wanted to spend your life with. All of your friends were getting married and you just kept getting older and older. I guess I should have been proud of you for waiting until you found the one instead of settling in life. You were once at the same stage as Susie anyway, with your job and everything.
So you don't have a problem with her?
Of course not. Every time I see Susie, I felt jealous that some other man might snap her up and she might never be your wife. And now look where we are. She's going to be my daughter-in-law. I'm still a little worried that her family might object to her decision. You're a little older than most men getting married for the first time, so I just hope they don't think that's a problem.
I actually snuck around to her parents' place to ask them what they thought of it, and they said they really liked me. I showed them some clips of my work on TV, from that documentary I was involved in. They said they liked me even more once they'd got to see my interviews and got to know me a bit better. They were just happy for her, I think.
Oh, that's such a relief. Well then, it's settled. Still, I still feel a bit bad that you're so much older than her.
Mom, quit worrying. It's not like he's old and has been married to a bunch of women and has a string of divorces. She's his first wife. It's fine. Eddie is a good person, and I'm sure her parents can tell that he'll take care of their daughter.
You're right. Well then, what do the two of you think? Are you all for it too?
I mean, if you really want me to be honest, then I'm not so sure about it. What if she quits her job after she gets married? Our store will crash and burn without her leading the team. She's the best employee we have.
We can figure that out later. It's not like she said anything about wanting to quit anyway.
She works so hard and seems like a really genuine girl.
I'm glad you approve.
Honestly, she seems kind of perfect. She's kind, she's sweet, she never lets us down at the store. She knows how to take care of the people around her, and that's really important. Is she okay with your age, though, Eddie? She's so much younger than you after all.
Well, I guess I'll be happy if all of you are happy. Lily, do you not like her? What's the problem? I just think they have too many differences, Mary. Their education, their families, they've come from completely different backgrounds. I feel like it's going to cause problems when they're married and living together. You can overlook these kinds of things when you're just dating, but marriage is more serious.
Babe, don't you think you're being unfair? This seems unnecessary. Are you saying this to Eddie because you think it's been a problem for us or something?
Oh, come on. You and I have similar education and backgrounds. Still, even though we had similar experiences growing up, my whole life has been a problem. The two of us are just completely different people at the end of the day. Mary, I have to be honest with you. To be truthful, Susie and I don't really get on well. I'm sure the two of you will learn to get along with time. Besides, even if you can't work out your differences, there's no reason for you to see any more of each other after the wedding. Regardless of how you feel about it, I've always wanted a daughter-in-law like Susie. Eddie is a wonderful man, with a lot of great qualities. He's such a talented artist, too, even if his personality wasn't as good as it is. All I want is for him to find the kind of girl that has those same good qualities. She's smart and she wants to be his wife. That's enough for me. God, I can't believe this. What kind of bad luck is this? This has to be a nightmare. I wish someone would just pinch me and wake me up. My plan is starting to fall apart. Why won't Mary listen to me? How can Susie have deceived everyone like this? They're all obsessed with her. I had no idea they were going to treat her like some kind of princess. She doesn't deserve all this fuss and praise. I thought Eddie was going to be an old bachelor. Why could he change his mind out of the blue? I'm sure there has to be some silver lining here somewhere. I can find a way out of this mess. I know it. Hi there, Susie. Good morning.
Good morning, boss. How are you?
What's wrong? Why do you look so depressed?
Oh, it's nothing, don't worry.
Have you been crying? What has happened? Look at this girl. I guess her dad must have heard about the things we were talking about yesterday. Wait, I should pretend I don't know what's going on. I need to fix my poker face. Anyway, she's just weird. This is her own fault. Did you think I would let you steal my inheritance that easily? All you had to do was marry the oldest son. Come on, you barely graduated from high school. I asked you what's wrong. Just tell me what's going on. We have to work together all day. I don't want to spend the whole shift worrying that you're going to cry all over the clothes.
Oh, my dad got taken to the emergency room last night. He's on a lot of painkillers, but I'm really worried about him.
He's in hospital again?
I didn't hear what happened before I found him, but I had to call the emergency services and they took him to the hospital. Apparently he has to stay there for a while now.
Oh my goodness, what time did all this happen?
It was really early this morning. I came straight to work as soon as the doctor said I could leave him.
Well, just stop crying. We open in 30 minutes and it looks bad to the customers.
I know, I'm sorry.
God, every time I look at you, I just think about how jealous I am of you.
I'm sorry? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, sure, your dad has been ill for ages, but it's not like he's getting any worse. It's nice that you still care so much about him that you cry every time he goes into hospital. You two must be close. I'm jealous that you always have a chance to prove what a good daughter you are by paying his bills and stuff. Especially since you grew up so poor and had such a bad childhood. You must have had so many chances to help your parents out with little things and win a bunch of praise. I wish I had some reason to prove I'm a good daughter to my parents.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what now?
If you really envy me that much, do you want to swap places? Do you wish your dad was in hospital?
What did you just say?
Look at you. You've opened your own small business. Now your father has retired and spends his days quietly at home or playing golf or whatever old men do. He has so much money and he has basically given it all to charities to do some good in the world. He must have had over $10 million at his peak. You grew up so privileged. And now you've got your own business and all of the money he has left is coming to you in your inheritance one day. I heard you're expecting millions of dollars, a big house that's all paid off, and shares in all his businesses. You could never spend all the money you're going to end up with in just one lifetime, even if you spend thousands of dollars a day. Come on, let's swap places. Your life doesn't sound so bad to me.
What the hell are you talking about?
You told me you were jealous of me. If you were being serious, let's swap places for a day and you can see how it really feels to be me. God, she is seriously such a jerk. She's jealous because my dad is in hospital? I can't believe she would be so thoughtless in front of someone who's crying about their father being ill. Oh, my poor dad. He's such a wonderful man. He doesn't deserve everything he's going through. He's been so unwell for his whole life. Oh, Dad.
Do you understand?
I do, Mom. Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me yet. You'll embarrass me. You need to say it's all the money I've managed to save in my life, okay? No one can know what happened to it and that I don't have it anymore. As soon as you and Susie are married, you should tell her parents to move house and help them live somewhere more comfortable. You'll be their son-in-law by then, so you'll be their family. I know they'll listen to you.
Thank you, Mom, really. You have no idea what this means.
It's okay. No need to thank me. I'm just happy to see you married before I'm gone. I just wanted to see you happy. That young woman has no idea what she's done for me, marrying you and keeping you safe. Did you say she's pregnant, too? She's carrying my grandchild?
She is. She's a wonderful person, honestly.
Oh, this is such a happy time. All these good things happening at once. A marriage. A baby.
I know, it's amazing.
How's her father doing? Is he getting better?
Yes, thank goodness. The doctors say he's past the most critical stage, so he should make a full recovery.
Well then, you need to make sure that you ask him. We need to find a date for me to meet her parents so they know that she's in safe hands. I'm sure she's very precious to them and I want to reassure them.
I will, Mom, don't worry.
You and Susie can move into my house. It's yours now. I'll make sure your brother and his wife stay as far away from you both as possible. Don't worry about that. I'll find somewhere a few hours' drive away and get them settled. You don't need to do anything.
I have money too, Mom. Let me help.
Okay, let's just find you a place that you and Susie can really settle into. If we combine the savings I have with your money, we'll have a decent deposit so we can find you a house with everything you're looking for. If she's going to give you a baby and make you a father, I want to help out as much as I can. I'll even move in and help with childcare if you want. Does she really think you'll be able to help her? You're an old man now. You'll be useless.
Mom, I'm really not that old. You don't have to keep teasing me about the age gap.
You're right. You have to be positive. Do you think you'll still be alive to see your child?
Don't worry, Mom. I'm very strong and healthy. I'm barely 40.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone now. You're right.
You know something weird? These days, if I see a baby walking down the street, I just think that they're all so cute and tiny. I love when I see someone with a pushchair and a little one lying there. Ever since Susie told me we were expecting, it's like all I can think about is babies. I just can't wait to have one of my own and be a dad.
You're not the only one. I was exactly the same when I was pregnant with you. I heard this restaurant was pretty good, so I thought we should try it.
Yes, I've heard really good things about the food here.
I've been thinking about whether or not I should say this and how I could put it nicely. Has Mary met your parents yet?
Sure, I guess I can say yes to that.
Well, look at this girl. I have to say, I was really surprised when I first heard the news.
What do you mean? What reason was there to be surprised?
Well, from looking at the two of you, you're at completely different levels. In terms of your success, social status, all of that. You're in two different leagues.
Oh, I see. So you're thinking of this from a social perspective, right?
To be honest, I think anyone looking at you would feel the same way. It's not just me who thinks the two of you aren't well matched, you know?
Well, I sure am jealous that you can apparently read people's minds. I'm sure it's a useful skill to have.
God, the nerve of her to be so sassy with me. Who does she think she is? I just wanted to talk to you, and I hope you'll explain things to me. I'll be honest, I didn't think Eddie was the dating type. He'd been single for as long as I'd known him and been married to Harry.
Well, I was the one who fell for him first. I was following him around for ages and saying that we should date. I guess I just knew he was the one for me.
When did all this happen?
I remember it so clearly. I had a really bad day at work with a lot of difficult customers, so I went for a walk after work. I was wandering around downtown, and suddenly he appeared and told me he was doing an exhibition of his work in a studio nearby. He asked me if I would be interested in going and checking it out, and I remembered that he had been in the store once or twice. I remember speaking to him briefly in the past, so I went to the show. We went out for food afterwards, and I guess things just grew from there.
Well then, how long have the two of you been dating?
Well, we've been together for over a year.
Do you agree with each other's perspectives and opinions? The two of you have such different interests. I'm sure you argue all the time.
So, not only do you know what other people think, now you can tell what they're interested in? You're a woman of many talents. It's very impressive.
Well, no, I mean... Oh, the nerve of her to try and laugh at me.
As you know, Eddie studied fine art at a really good university, and he's extremely talented. I knew this from the moment I first spoke to him properly, and I heard him talk about his work. I am very aware of the fact that I didn't go to university, and all I have in terms of education is a high school diploma. He listens to classical music like Mozart and Bach every day while he paints. I know that he keeps up with world events and never goes out of the house without a book just in case. For me, all I read are fashion magazines full of self-help and styling tips, like how you should never wear spots with stripes. I only ever listen to popular songs that get played on the radio. That's what you're talking about, right? How we have such different interests? Do you really think having similar interests is so important?
I'm just saying, it's a pretty fundamental thing that both partners should have some things in common. You and Eddie are from totally different worlds.
You don't seem to have any idea about what makes a good marriage. I guess you just looked at Harry's social status and qualifications and decided that he would do, right? You didn't look for anything else? There's no need for people to come from the same kind of background. When we spend a few hours together, we spend the entire time talking and really getting to know each other and how we work. We have a very different kind of relationship to you and Harry, where you could spend an entire day together and only really talk for a few minutes at the most.
Are you really trying to make assumptions about me and my husband? How dare you? How would you know how much time we spend talking to each other? Have you spent any time with us to watch how we behave together?
I've seen the two of you almost every day for the last 12 years.
Why, the little witch! You have never been married, so I wouldn't expect you to understand this, but a marriage is more than just what it looks like. It's much deeper and more serious. When you're dating, every couple spends most of their time talking. You're still new and getting to know each other, so there's a lot to talk about. Go on and get married. Then you'll learn what it's really like to come back to reality.
I've heard about the realities of marriage already, don't worry.
Who's been talking to you about that? What would they even know?
Well, I remember hearing about how you never really know someone until you're married to them, and that you shouldn't believe the good things their family tells you because they could be lying. In fact, I think it was you who told me that a while ago.
You think I said that?
Yes. I remember when it was now. You were telling me about how frustrated you were that the two of you never talked when you were dating, and that you got annoyed that he never said much to you.
Well, my husband was always like that. He used to be a very quiet guy. He was a man of few words.
Shouldn't you know more about this than I do? When you're talking to me in the free time at the shop, you and Harry seem to be like oil and water. You can never agree on anything. He is so smart, and his sense of humor is amazing.
Well, whatever you think about that, it's nothing to do with the reason I asked you to meet with me today.
Okay, then go ahead. What's on your mind?
I have been married for over 20 years, and I've spent all that time caring for the family and helping out with every little thing since their father passed away. These kinds of jobs should never have been my responsibility.
Sure, I guess.
I would cook all the food at the holidays, and I was there for every family get-together, and I have been a real support for Harry and Eddie's mom through everything. I would even decorate the house whenever there was a birthday and make sure everything was perfect for them. Mary has told me how grateful she is for everything I've done for their family and how sorry she is that I had to be in charge of everything, but...
Hang on a second. I can see why the people you were doing those things for would feel grateful to you and sorry that you had to do it all, but what's that got to do with me? I'm not even married to Eddie yet. We're still just engaged. Even if I had already married him, you've never done anything nice for me. Do you really think I should be grateful too? Why would I owe you anything?
God, I can't believe this girl. No, that is not what I meant at all. I just wanted to warn you that there are lots of things that you have to organize and family events you have to plan. I was telling you so that you could ask me if you were curious about anything since I've been doing it for so much longer than you. I was going to tell you that you will have to be in charge of all these things from now on, since you're marrying the oldest son in the family. It's just the way things go. You should really listen to people until they've finished speaking, instead of interrupting them halfway through.
Oh, my mistake, sorry. It's just that You told me to do the opposite of that when we were at work recently. You said that I should ask whenever I have questions or I'm not sure about something, so I've been trying to make it a habit to ask people what they mean. Man, she's got to be trying to annoy me at this point.
Another thing, I've been arranging all the parties and celebrations ever since Harry and I got married. You're the oldest now, so it will be up to you to host everyone at your house whenever there is an occasion to celebrate and have a party. I'm getting older now, too. I'm honestly just relieved that I can hand over everything to you and be done with it. I can't believe I've been doing all this on my own for the last 20 years. If you think you can come in here and ruin my plans, then you had better suffer through what I have for so long at the very least. I'd like to see how you manage it. Then you'll see what a huge mistake you've made.
Hang on a second. I remember talking to Mary about this at her house recently, when we all got together on the anniversary of her husband's passing. Didn't she say she was stopping all these big family events? I'm sure I heard that. She was talking about how they're more work than they're worth. I don't think I'll be responsible for any of the same things as you, to be honest. If she was serious about starting new traditions, as far as I could tell, she didn't want to do any of them anymore, or at least have them at a restaurant or something instead of one person having to make all the food and decorate on their own.
What the hell? That can't be true. No way. Oh my God, that is so disappointing. I can't believe she would do that now instead of 20 years ago. Does that all mean that all the work I've put in over all this time was completely useless? What's the point of it all? I put it on my shoulders for so many years. I'm honestly sad for you that Mary is planning on getting rid of everything. I guess you will never have the chance to organize everything yourself and know what I've been doing for so long.
I mean, did anyone tell you that you had to do all of that for 2 whole decades? Did anyone explicitly say you were in charge? Sounds like it's more sad to whoever told you it was your responsibility, since they were wasting your time making you do all that work. Why should I be sad about it? I know that Mary never expected you to do as much as you did either. I heard her tell you constantly that you should keep things simple and not make so much work for yourself, but you never listened. Are you sure you didn't do it just so you could rub it in everyone's faces that you had worked so hard? No one was asking you to do it. It was really unnecessary.
Well, this is all pretty difficult for me to understand. Is it because you're so much younger? Does the huge age gap mean there's just a different way of thinking in new generation? I can't believe she would say she doesn't expect her daughter-in-law to host even the easiest of family events. It's so unfair. It's just your duty.
You think it's my duty to do all that unpaid labor? I guess it's difficult for me to understand why you would want to pass on all that work to someone so much younger than you. You had struggled with it yourself. Surely you would want to make things easier for whoever comes next. Anyway, it's important to have the memorial service for their dad, I think. I'll talk to all of the family members individually and get their thoughts, and then maybe we can have a vote and decide which family events we should keep. I don't think this should be such a one-way deal, though. It just isn't fair.
Well, whatever happens, I've been working really hard to make everything perfect for everyone for the last 20 years. I never had a word of thanks, and no one has ever told me what a great job I did. I just did it because I was expected that I would, and no one else stepped up. That should have been the first thing they said every time they came over. I guess I just don't know what to say. Is it because I never learned my lesson and stood up for myself?
What do you mean, you don't know what to say? Normally you're very happy to share everything you've learned in your life. You're very straightforward with your criticism and advice. How could you be so negative and pessimistic when talking to your future sister-in-law? I thought you were trying to help me. You have a daughter of your own, right? I remember you talking about her.
Yes, I do. I don't see how that's relevant to what we're talking about, though. Why would you bring that up?
Well, picture this. Your daughter is all grown up, and she's about to get married to a man who's 15 years older than she is. Do you really think she would want to start hosting family events and being told to act like Cinderella right after her wedding? Imagine hosting your new in-laws in the house you've just moved into with your new husband. Imagine her suffering like you have and having to do everything for her new family. Would you like it if that's what happened? Do you think she would be happy? If you really think it's her duty as the wife of the eldest son, you should start teaching her how to cook and clean now so she can learn. I know that's not what I want, though. My new family don't want me to have to do it either, so it would be a complete waste of my time and energy to do it all anyway. Here's what I think, anyway. The best course of action is always to talk about expectations and responsibilities. That way you can figure out what's expected of you and discuss a compromise that works for everyone. After talking to Lily, I rushed home and told my husband-to-be about what had happened and what she had said to me. I said that if there were things that needed to happen, we should discuss them with his family, and I would be more than happy to do my fair share of the work in preparation. The most important thing was making sure that the oldest family members were the organizers and the younger ones would help with getting everything done and making sure everything went smoothly. We've been following that system ever since, and it works great. Oh, and there's something I should tell you about Harry and Lily's daughter. I heard that she uploaded her profile to a website for people to find their future spouse, saying something about how you had to act while you were still pretty. She's only 23. She's still so young. Well, within a year, she announced that she was getting married. Apparently, his whole family were lawyers, and they were extremely rich and successful. I suppose that's why her mom allowed it to happen. Unlike her mom, it seems she didn't want to marry a small business owner and end up with a struggling business and a troubled marriage. It doesn't sound like her new family have been treating her very well. I heard her welcome was as cold as a Siberian winter. They thought she wasn't educated enough for their son and said he was out of her league. Lily couldn't believe she had sent her daughter off and been told that she wasn't good enough, and they would have to think about whether or not they would allow the wedding. I hear she doesn't sleep at all these days. She's so stressed about it all. Her daughter wasn't even allowed to sit at the table with her future in-laws and had to stand and wait for them while they ate dinner. Apparently, she just claimed she was sick and had to go and lie down so it wouldn't be awkward.
There really aren't any customers lately.
I know, it's so frustrating.
Do you have any idea about when Susie will finish her maternity leave? When did she say she would be back?
Even once her official leave ends, I doubt she'll be back. She has 2 kids now. That's more than enough work for her.
Yes, you're probably right. Childcare is hardly a walk in the park.
I can't believe he would be so stupid. Imagine having 2 young kids at 50. What was he thinking?
Well, who's going to look after the shop if she doesn't come back? She was the best at selling clothes. We don't even have any customers anymore.
What do you mean, what will we do? There's only one way out of this, you know?
What? What's the solution?
We just have to get rid of my wife and send her back home.
Well, I guess that could be one way of fixing things.
Our customers always say how disappointed they are that Susie isn't here, and then leave without spending a single cent. She won't come back because she knows the business is drowning, and she doesn't want to have to work with Lily. The 2 of them never get along, as you know. This is gonna ruin my business. I'm so furious. She was the best employee we ever had.
Boss, maybe you should relax your jaw a bit. You look like you're going to bite your tongue off. Even if Susie never comes back to work here, I know you were just trying to show me that the shop could survive without her. It's horrible seeing customers being pressured into trying something on and then feeling like they have to buy it. It's not a comfortable atmosphere here anymore. Honestly, it makes me feel sad and sorry for them to see it.
You're right. You know, maybe we could hit the ground running with that customer who threw his card in my face earlier. He seemed to love the vibe of the store. Who am I kidding? You know, I think we should both prepare ourselves for the fact that neither of us will be working here for much longer at this rate.
Yes, boss. Keep your chin up, sir. Wait, maybe we should stop talking. Your wife keeps staring daggers at me. She seems really mad.
God, I'm a dead man walking.
My life now is better than I could ever have imagined. Being with Eddie is fantastic, and we can't wait to welcome our new child into the world. I don't talk much to Lily these days. I think that we have a mutual understanding at this point. On the other hand, Mary has been just the biggest angel to me in our future family. I can't wait to see what the future has in store for us. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.